Okay, and we are live. Hi YouTube. My name is Ryan Hawley, PB70CDOEM. This is my first video since January of 2014. And I would like to apologize to everyone for not being active on my YouTube for almost 8 years now. I want to talk to you guys about that. And I want to let you know that I am back, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be on my channel again and back online. In January of 2014, as I have mentioned, I had a hard drive problem, and it was a hardware encrypted hard disk drive with some extremely important files that I have not had access to for 7.5 years. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with me not being on my YouTube channel? I'm gonna get to that in a moment. I would also like to recommend against anyone who buys a MyBook Western digital hard drive like this one. The reason for that, and I think it says somewhere, 256-bit hardware-based encryption and password protection. I never did put in my own password. It was already hardware encrypted even before I bought mine and unboxed mine. This is another one that is identical to mine, which I still have the drive itself. The little USB control board, I have one right here, got damaged. And normally there's supposed to be a USB connector where you plug your USB cable into that got damaged and eventually came off. I kind of gutted this piece for copper wire, something that my mother collects and makes gadgets out of, long story short. And I took my hard drive enclosure apart to grab the drive itself, and then I grabbed one of my spare USB to SATA, or SATA, however you pronounce it, adapters, same thing, it doesn't really matter, and connected my hard drive. Found out the hard way. Can't do it that way because all the data, including the master boot record, being hardware encrypted, it has to be through this particular board that has a chip that has some code in it. So I went to a computer place, and unfortunately they didn't help me. They made it worse. So for quite some time I got busy doing other things in the process too. I had my hard drive in my drawer for safekeeping, and eventually I did some research and found one identical to mine, and I temporarily pulled the circuit board out of it and was able to access my stuff again. Of course, the partition table was also deleted, but I used a program called Minitool Partition Wizard, and there's a partition recovery feature on it. I about said program, but it's actually a feature built into the program. And I did a quick scan, it saw the deleted partition, so I hit undelete, and that did it. So I was reunited with all my files. Now, for my YouTube channel that you're watching my video on right now, to get on it, I have to log in with my username and password, and it was a bit of a long password, and my username, PB70CDOEM, which stands for Packard Bell Compact Disc, or 70 Compact Disc, Original Equipment Manufacturer. I had my login information stored on a text document file. And where do you suspect I had that text document file? I think most of you have guessed it. And I had no access to it for 7 to 7.5 years. And I am so sorry I have not been on my YouTube channel for a really long time. I feel just as bad as everyone else watching my video does, but I want y'all to know I am back, and I am glad to be back. I would also like to make a quick shout out to YouTube user, the Nostalgia Mall. You probably are used to hearing me say Road Geek, but he renamed his channel from Road Geek to the Nostalgia Mall. Still the same channel, all the content is still the same. He just changed the name a few years ago. Can do that now, and I actually might do the same thing at some point in the future. I'm not sure. But I do want to point out that I do have an Internet Archive account under the name Ryan H. Nostalgia, and that might be what I might rename my YouTube channel to if I plan to do so. I have some disk image and ISO files of some IBM recovery media that I have uploaded. And Billy from the Nostalgia Mall, if you're watching my video, I'm glad you got my floppy disks that I sent you in the mail. I'm not worried about the deleted video file. It happens. You know, I know you felt bad about it, but you know what? You did get my floppy disks and letter and drawing of the Carolina Circle Mall logo that I put on a little notepad, which came from here, as a matter of fact. And I used a green and purple pen, which I also have stored in here. I think these two to be exact. Yeah. So, don't worry and don't stress about the lost video file. I have done the same thing too, and file recovery being unsuccessful. In fact, I was using PCEM, PC Emulator, with a bunch of different Packard Bell systems that I have custom done. And I had a disk image file, and I was using one of the NEC Ready system recovery medias, like a disk creation utility. And for whatever reason, it did not say, this disk contains data, you are about to overwrite your data, do you wish to continue? Didn't warn me or anything. And the moment it started formatting, I was like, no, 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 no. I tried to stop it, but it was too late. I just had some text document files on there that I made with the Notepad Windows program. And, well, I had to retype all of that. It was not fun. So, I'm glad you got my custom boot logos that I have made for, Gateway 2000, Packard Bell, and the Carolina Flyer system that you have. And I am also glad to hear that you have a wife now. I know that you have not mentioned your name quite yet, and that you want to keep her name anonymous. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and I'm sorry. So I'm going to keep her anonymous too. But I will say congratulations. I'm glad to hear that you got married, and I made some custom icons too as a wedding gift on one of those discs. And I'm really glad that you got my discs. Don't worry about the video. And don't worry about not being on YouTube all that often. I kind of wondered myself. I am really wishing the best for your dad. I hope everything is okay. And I'm not worried about the lack of videos. You're not the only one. In fact, look at how long I've not been on YouTube for. Almost 8 years. And I'm sorry about that. I really am. But I'm glad I got my files back. I took a couple videos off of my channel because it had to do with my grandpa's old house. My grandpa's old house did not get demolished. They have new owners now, and I've actually met them and talked to them. I'm going to keep their information anonymous as well. And because the house is still there and had all the remodeling and repairs done, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep those off of my channel and just take them down. The projector one, the really old projector one, I kept that one up there, so that's still there. So just privacy reasons. I hope that everyone else is doing good. In fact, my computer stuff is still the same. Yeah, IBM Aptiva, PS1, Packard Bell. My exact original childhood IBM Aptiva computer was actually a 2168 M71 model. And I got that in 2016 or 2017, I can't remember. I wish I could have made an exclusive video the same way Billy did with his Legend 822 when he first got his, and I'm sorry I did not do that. So I will be probably once a month, once every 2 months, be uploading some videos. In fact, I think my next video will be an IBM related video, maybe my Packard Bell that I have over here. Everything is the same, pretty much, and everything else is going pretty good. I on Saturdays for 2 hours a day work at a vacuum cleaner store. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I work on and repair vacuum cleaners for a living. In fact, what I will show is the oldest and rarest vacuum cleaner that I own. It's Rexair's Rainbow's very first model of the Rainbow, before they even called it the Rainbow. This is an antique, which starts with the letter A, and of course the model is Series A, with the serial number and stuff. I don't know if you can see it, I'm sorry if you can't. But, yeah, it does run, it works. I do use it every now and then. It was manufactured, I want to say, early 1937, late 1936. And that's more than 80 years ago. So, and I make 20 bucks every Saturday that I work there. I'm not going to explain exactly which vacuum cleaner store that I work at. I will keep that anonymous. But anyways, I just want to let everyone know that I'm back on YouTube and why there was this 7 year plus delay. It was a bit of a disaster. I'm sure a lot of you know that my dad has unfortunately passed away in January of 2014 after a 6-month battle with pancreatic cancer, and it was around that time I had my hard drive problem. The computer place that I went to actually went out of business because bankruptcy related issues, and their business was apparently having some problems. I've known them for a really long time, and then one day they just decided they didn't want to help me for whatever reason. They were not even concerned about the fact that my dad had just passed away, and I told them I didn't appreciate the way I was being treated. So they scammed me, tried to steal my hard drive. Yeah, it is true. Fortunately, I didn't let them. I grabbed my hard drive and the rest of the stuff I had, the enclosure that it was in, and never came back. I just hope that they will realize that they made a mistake and that they shouldn't have done what they did. But the good news is I was able to do this on my own. I wish I could have done this sooner. But I hope everyone else is doing good. Billy, I am keeping your dad in my thoughts. I really hope that he's doing okay. And I hope that your mom is doing okay too. Congratulations on your new apartment. I also want to mention one other thing. You showed the closet in your new apartment, and I didn't find it to be all that messy. But one thing I really admired was the toolbox that your dad gave you that was given to him by your grandpa. So thumbs up for that, man. Double thumbs up. I've got quite a few things from my grandpa's old house. These portraits, for that matter, that were originally in my grandpa's living room. I have them. So anyways, I probably should have made a list of things I wanted to discuss. I'm sorry I didn't. But I will be making another video sometime soon of one of my IBM Aptiva computers and just go over a few things. I just want to let everyone know I'm back online, and you guys have a nice day. This is PB70CDOEM, Ryan Hawley, signing off. I will see you in my next video.